Hey everyone, welcome back to Magical Minds. Today we'll be showing you some parts of our body which help utmost in the movement of our body. The skeletal system or the system of bones is the main system for the movement of our body. It gives us support and shape to the body. But if the skeletal system is made up of one single bone, we would have not been able to move our body. This is why we have ligaments, cartilage, and joints in our body. These help us in order to move. Let's study more about them.
Body movements. First, let's learn about joints. Observe the way how your hands and legs move. Why is it that we can only move some parts of our body in all directions but some in one direction only? Try to touch your right shoulder with the fingers of your right hand. Now try to touch it with your right elbow. Can you do that? Why is it that we cannot fold our upper arm but can move our elbow, wrist, fingers, etc.? This is because there's only one long bone between our shoulder and elbow, whereas there are more than one bones between shoulder and fingers, joined together at elbow and wrist. The place where two or more bones connect is called a joint. These bones are attached to each other at joints by strong bands of tissues called ligaments to provide mechanical support and allow movement. The joints are of three different types. The first one is fixed joint, second, slightly movable joint, and third, movable joint. Let's first talk about fixed joints. Fixed joints are also called fibrous joints or immovable joints. They do not allow any movement of bones. In these joints, the bones are interlocked with one another. For example, the bones of the skull, the joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head, etc. Next, slightly movable joints. This is also called gliding joint or planar joint. They allow very little movement of bones. For example, joints of the backbone, wrist, etc. Third, movable joints. These allow the bones to move freely. They contain a fluid for smooth movement of bones called synovial fluid. So, they are also called synovial joints. There are mainly of three types. First, pivot joint. In this joint, a cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. It can also twist from one side to another. The joints where our neck joins our head is a pivot joint. Due to this joint, we can turn our head from right to left and also bend our head forward and backward. The second, ball and socket joint. In these joints, the rounded head of one bone fits into the cup-like cavity of the other, like a ball into a socket. It allows rotation in a complete circle. Can you make a big circle in the air by the movement of your arm? Our shoulder and hip joints are examples of ball and socket joints. Model of a ball and socket joint. We can learn and understand better of ball and socket joint with a model. Take some clay and make it into a ball. Take a stick and insert it into the clay and keep rotating it around the cup. The movement of this ball and the cup is similar to the motion of your arm at the shoulder joint. Next, the hinge joint. These joints allow back and forth movement in one direction only. They work just like the hinges on the door and windows. Our knee and elbow joints are examples of hinge joints. Model of a hinge joint. We can understand better about hinge joints by using a simple model. Take a paper and fold it into half. As you open and close the paper, you find a line. This line is a joint between two of our bones. Folding these pieces together makes it look like a hinge joint, and moving them front and back is an easy example to show the movement of hinge joint in our human body. Last, cartilage. Cartilage is soft tissue attached to the bones. It protects the bones and also helps them to move. It gives shape to certain parts of our body like the ear, pinna and nose. There are a lot of differences between a bone and cartilage. For example, bone is hard and cartilage is soft, but the bone matrix or the soft internal tissue is hard and non-flexible, but the cartilage matrix is very flexible. Bone is composed of calcium and phosphorus, but cartilage is composed of proteins and sugar. Bones make the skeleton, but cartilage only gives support to the bones. We should always be careful while playing or doing anything so that we don't damage our bones or cartilage. These things are called dislocation and fracture of bones. Many times, due to accidents, bones get broken or dislocated from their position. The ligaments joining the bones get torn, and this causes a lot of pain and swelling. There might be injury to the bones also. If a bone is broken, we call it a fracture. How do the doctors know which bone has suffered injury? You can identify it by pain, but they need to know the exact place to give special treatment. They study the X-ray image of the concerned part of the body. X-ray passes through the tissues but not through the bones. Therefore, they form an image of the bones in our body. By looking at the X-ray image, a doctor can locate the bone which has suffered injury and advise appropriate treatment.
I hope this video has helped you in understanding different kinds of joints. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned with Magical Minds for more such informative videos.